Hello everyone, my name is Anna Teague and I am the admissions coordinator for the vet school. Today we have Megan Sitzman, who is a current microbiology student, and Kyla Blackshare, who is also a microbiology student. They are pre-vet students who will be applying to our program very soon. And we'd just like to talk to them a little bit about their decision on going into microbiology for their undergraduate degree. Hello, ladies.
Hi.
Hi, glad you could be here today.
Thank you.
Megan, tell me a little bit about why you chose to go into microbiology as an undergraduate degree.
Well, I actually originally didn't start in microbiology, but after I originally started in biochemistry and molecular biology, found that that really was not where my fit was, and kind of searched for other degrees that I may be interested in, and ended up finding microbiology, which, come to find out, I am in love with. I love studying little microbes and bacteria and everything. And also, the micro degree plan fits extremely well with the prereqs that are required for vet school. Basically, every prereq you find for vet school is in the micro program somewhere in some form. So you don't have to worry about trying to make your degree plan work with your prereqs for vet school. It all just fits very nicely.
It's all good to go. Well, Kyla, tell me a little bit about why you chose this program.
I'm also a little bit of the same. I started out another major to begin with, and then about halfway through my first semester here, I met with one of the advisors, and I really just kind of talked and figured out that I would really enjoy the program. So I jumped on and I said, why not? So I've been here, and I've really loved taking the classes that I have, a lot of more of the science-focused classes, those upper divisions, and it's just really been really interesting to learn more about the science as opposed to, you know, less ag-focused, I guess. It opens up a lot of doors and has a lot of diversity.
That's true, that's true. Now, Kyla, what area of medicine do you want to go into? Because as you know, we teach all species over in the vet school, and every student comes in with an area of interest that they want to focus on. So what's your focus?
I'm really small animal focused. I really love, you know, the pet care people, their cats and dogs, just their house pets.
Companion animal?
Yes.
Very cool. And now, Megan, what's yours?
I actually want to go into large animal, more specifically equine sports medicine.
Okay, now that's interesting because the majority of students that we see that go through the animal science department are ag related. But as you just said, you want to go into equine medicine and those large animal medicine. So that's a unique situation there. So how are you handling some of the upper level science classes that you're taking, such as immunology and virology? How did you like those courses?
I'm actually in immunology right now, and I am loving it. I find it so interesting, and I love going to lecture. Sometimes I wish I didn't have to be tested over it, but I can just enjoy the class. But it is so interesting. I love learning about the immune system, viruses, everything.
Good. Well, and that brings up a very interesting point because when you apply to vet school, there are a set amount of classes that you have to take in order to be eligible. And immunology is not a requirement, although it is a highly, highly advised course to take. Going through a program such as microbiology, you will be required to take that class. However, a lot of students who only do the basic courses will be at somewhat of a disadvantage because they did not have that class, because it is something that you'll take while you're in veterinary school. So that brings up a good point. Kyla, why don't you tell me a few things that you've done to make yourself a better applicant for this program?
So in high school, as soon as I turned 16, I started applying at, you know, vet clinics around my hometown and just got, you know, as much out there as I could, and they ended up giving me a chance, and I have been working at that small animal clinic for 5 years now, and I've really enjoyed. I've gotten a lot of really good hands-on experience. I've gotten to meet, you know, a large variety of different vets and gotten to see their different practice styles, and it's been really awesome to get some very hands-on experience to make sure that it is something, you know, that I could see myself doing for the rest of my life. And I have a family member who's a large animal vet, and so I've gone out with him on some of his calls, so I've gotten a little taste of that too, just so I get a little variety of everything, as well as just, you know, applying to vet school. They obviously have a huge emphasis on your grades and your scores, but there's also another factor is they look for a very well-rounded, very well-developed person who you stay involved on campus. I'm the vice president of the microbiology club, and I'm an ambassador for the department. So I just try to stay very involved there and volunteer in the community, Tiny Paws Kitten Rescue, and at home, Humane Society. You just kind of do anything, things that make you happy and things that you enjoy doing that are also going to help you in the long run, on a resume.
That's true. That's true. And clinical experience is the absolute number one experience that the admissions committee is looking for in our applicants. So that clinical experience that you have, that you're obtaining, is a huge, huge advantage there. So Megan, what things have you done to better yourself as an applicant?
Kind of basically the same thing that Kyla's done. I started working in a vet clinic in high school, so that it was a mixed animal practice, so I got to see a little bit of both the small and large animal side. In college, I've been able to work at strictly an equine hospital, which has been great since that's what I want to pursue. And I don't think people realize it as much, how you said that clinic experience is great, and it also can really tell you if veterinary medicine is something you want to pursue, because there's a lot to veterinary medicine people don't see that goes on in the background at clinics, and it'll really tell you if this is what you want to do versus you go through the entire process of trying to get into vet school and come to find out that really is not what you wanted to do. And then also I've become involved with the pre-vet club on campus and a lot of volunteering, especially through Operation Catnip here at the veterinary school. And I'm also involved in the microbiology club, and I play in the wind ensemble here at OSU. I play bassoon, so I've just kind of spread myself out a little bit of everywhere, not stayed mainly focused on veterinary medicine, which they like Kayla said, they like to see someone who does a little bit of everything versus just strictly stuff related to veterinary medicine.
Yes, that's a good point. And honestly, the admissions committee is looking for well-rounded individuals, someone who has a little bit of everything, a little bit of large animal, a little bit of small animal, maybe a little bit of research. And really, they're looking for people that are not scared to try new things, especially when it comes to research opportunities. If you put yourself out there, they notice those things. They notice that you go in there and you're trying new things. You may not like research, but at least you tried it. You may not like small animal medicine, but at least you tried it. So that's kind of what they're looking for, is people to just put themselves out there and not be scared of new things. So that's great. That's great. How do you feel right now about the rigor of the program that you're in? Is it difficult? Is it pretty laid back? How are you feeling about the courses that you're taking right now? Do you feel like they're going to prepare you for vet school, or you think that they need a little bit more?
Definitely the upper division courses, I think, definitely prepare you for vet school. You get a little bit of a taste of the difficulty of the courses that you will be taking in vet school. Personally, I don't find them that awful, but you do have to put a lot of work into them. You just be prepared and know that you will be putting effort into it. You can't just sit back and kind of cruise through it. You will have to try. But I think they're great. I think they're doing a fantastic job of preparing us for vet school.
Great. Do you feel the same way, or?
Yeah, I really enjoyed we're actually both in immunology right now, so sticking through that together. But yeah, I've really enjoyed my upper division classes. I definitely think they're fairly rigorous, maybe more than she does, but it's a lot of rigor and it's very time consuming. But if you just reach out to the professors, the micro department is great about wanting to help you and wanting to work with you, and they have great staff that'll help you out if they can. And just as well, like, the rigor of the program is enough to give you kind of a taste of what veterinary school will be like, because it's known to be very tough, very competitive, very rigorous. So you don't want to have a very laid back undergrad and then kind of get thrown in and not have good study habits. So I feel like the program is, developed in me good study habits, good work ethic, and just learning how to teach myself best.
You hit the nail on the head there. Just out of curiosity, how many credit hours are you in right now, Kyla?
I think I'm in 15.
15. Megan, how many are you in?
I'm in 12 currently.
12. Okay. So any applicant that we talk to, I always tell them to push themselves a little further past the minimum full-time 12 hours worth of classwork. Your first semester of veterinary school will be consisting of 18 credit hours. It can go anywhere from 18 to 22 credit hours per semester as you proceed through the DVM program. That is almost double time. There's no time for learning new study habits. There's no time for a job. There's no time for really a social life, to be honest with you. But it is a very intense program that you need to have those study habits learned now. Don't wait till veterinary school before you learn how to study, how to take time out of your schedule and get that hour's worth of study every single night. You need to do that while you're an undergrad. So those skills will be set once you enter into the program. And that's when you're going to find that you're more successful completing this program if you have those before you get ready. So that's good stuff. You guys are on the right track. So ladies, let me ask you another question. You are both currently in our early admission program, correct?
Yes,
ma'am.
Okay. Just to kind of cover that program, it gets confused with early admission and 3+1. Are either of you in 3+1 program?
I'm in 3+1.
You're in 3+1 program.
I'm not.
And you're not, okay. So a lot of times it gets confused what the 3+1 program is and early admission, and that they are not the same thing. So Megan, you've gone through the 3+1 program, you're about to at least. Do you feel that the 3+1 program puts you at an advantage to getting to your goal quicker, or do you think that it's a lot of courses and probably maybe not worth your time?
I do. There are kind of pros and cons to it. Pros being you do cut off a year of undergrad tuition and fees and all that. You get into vet school quicker, you're able to get out quicker, get a job, establish yourself in the working community. Cons, you do have more classes you have to take, which wasn't a huge stress for me, but it may be for some people. And at the same time, there are some courses, especially through the micro department, that I will not be able to take because I will be starting vet school this upcoming fall. So there are some classes I would have liked to take, but will be unable to now.
Okay, good, good. And Kyla, you are not in the 3+1 program, but you are in the early admission.
Yes.
So, and just to kind of recap, early admission does accept the 3+1 program. So you can either do it or not. It's perfectly whatever you decide to do. So Kyla, tell me what didn't fit about it for you, the 3+1 program.
You know, I really considered doing the 3+1, and I had thought about it, and when the time came to pull the trigger on it or not, I kind of talked with my family and decided that it would be better for me to stay and have another year to develop myself more, figure things out, and just as well take some of those classes. I would really like to take virology and pathology, so some of those classes that I might not otherwise get to take. So it wasn't a matter of that I didn't want to. I really considered it, and it would really be nice to take off a year,
Right.
like of that in the end, instead of 8 years, it takes 7. But I decided that that wasn't what was best for me right now. So that's just kind of the conclusion that we came to.
Good. And there are some pros and cons. There's some benefits to doing it, but there's also some downsides. And regardless of what path you choose, the early admission program will honor both of them. You can either start your DVM program in 3 years or 4 years. So either one is perfectly acceptable. Early admission program just states that you have to have a bachelor's degree within 4 years or less. And that's why 3+1 is acceptable. So good stuff, good stuff. And just to let you know, 3+1 program is something that you enroll in after you start college. An early admission program is something that you apply to as a freshman in college, right after you graduate high school. So they are two different programs. 3+1 program basically states that you can start your vet school after 3 years of undergrad, and your 4th year of undergrad and first year of vet school are basically the same thing. So after your first year of vet school, you get your bachelor's degree. Whereas the early admission program actually states you have to have your bachelor's degree within 4 years or less, maintaining a 3.5 GPA per semester. And that's kind of where the course load comes into effect, trying to cram all of those courses into one semester and maintaining the 3.5 GPA. That gets a little bit difficult sometimes, and that's why it doesn't always fit with some students. And some students want to do maybe their last year they go study abroad or something, and that's kind of hard to do with the 3+1 program. So there are some pros and cons. It just, whichever one fits you best is the one you need to choose. Ladies, thank you so much for being my guest today. I was very pleased to be able to talk to you. Thank you so much for being a part of our show today. And if you have any questions, you may always contact the veterinary school, or you can email us at dvm@okstate.edu, or you can give us a call at 405-744-6961. Thanks so much.